Phone.
Hello. So today I'll be doing my speech about how the cost of college should be pretty much, let's say, free and people shouldn't have to pay to go to college. My thing is the cost of college is extremely high and there are many people that don't have the money to go to school, and they get to school and they have to take out loans and they pretty much become in debt years from now, whatever you want to call it. Like, they pretty much become in debt because the amount of money that they have to take out to pay for classes, to pay for food and stuff like that. I have a close friend who actually had an offer from Duke, well, scholarship to go there, whatever you want to call it, and she was so far from home that her parents didn't have the money to get her down there and stuff like that. And it becomes a real factor when you have so many talented people out here that don't go to school and just sit at home and do nothing because the amount of money that they charge for just one class or whatever, and they don't have the money financially to pay for it. And you get the fast food and all that, but that's never enough to cover what you need, and you have to go take out loans, and then by the time you get out of school you're like $15,000 behind in debt. And it's just like, with $15,000 you can do many other things, as far as like starting a family, a house, a car, apartment, whatever you name it. And it's like you have to use that money that you could be making to pay off loans for school. And it's just like, school should not be the cost that it is now. Classes and courses should be at a reasonable price that people are able to maintain and pay, and not have to worry about, oh, well, I don't want to go to school because I don't have the money financially to pay for a class that's $2,000, $3,000, and people don't go to school. And if classes were reasonable and affordable for people, I feel like the graduation rates would be a lot higher. You can have more stuff in the community. It'd be more beneficial to certain people, not everybody, but I feel like certain people it would be very beneficial. Like for me, for example, I had to take out a loan for class, and it's just like, you shouldn't have to take out loans just to be successful in life, because the colleges and the courses are so expensive. Like, just for one class alone is well over $1,000. Like, there are so many other things out there that you could do with $1,000. It may not seem like much, but there are many other things that you could do with $1,000 that you put forward for class. And it's just like, you pay for the class and then in the end you end up failing and you don't pass. So it's just like, the money is just going to waste, and the college or whoever gets the money is pretty much having the money and just doing whatever they decide to do with it. And it's just like, man, you paid this much money for a class and you failed. It's just like, there's no happiness in it whatsoever. Like, you fail, you don't get the money back, you have to repay for those same classes that you failed. And it's just like, it's a never ending process if you constantly keep failing. I honestly feel like school should be free, or if not free, at a reasonable cost that everybody can afford, and not have to worry about, oh, I have to take out a loan for this and loan for that. And it's just like, if it was free, or they had it at a reasonable cost, you would have many more people that are attending school. And not just school. For instance, in high schools, I know people that are paying for textbooks, and it's like, if you don't pay for the textbooks, you don't graduate. But it's just like, you're already making me pay to rent a book, well over $400, $500 for a book. Then you want me to pay if the book is lost, and then if you don't return the book, you have to still pay for it. So it's just like, any way they can get money out of people, they're willing to do it, and people have to pay just to get a book to be successful. Like, I feel like you shouldn't have to buy a book to be successful in life, when if you're already paying for the class, the books and everything else should just come with that package deal. Like, if a class is over $1,000, the book should come with it free. Whether the book is $200 or $300, it should all come together, and you shouldn't have to go out and pay $80 extra for a book on top of you just paying $1,000 for a class, and then you have to pay for books and all this other stuff. That all should just be included in one package. If it was included in one package, you got the whole nine, maybe paying $1,000 for a class wouldn't be bad. But when you have to pay all that money, it's just like, you have nothing really to live for. It's just like, you're spending all this money on it, and you still fail and you have to pay again just to go back. It's just like, it's not fair how much the society and the government are charging for you to go to school. Like, just because some people can go to a community college, and what you pay at a community college, you might be paying just to go to Harvard or Duke or Yale or anything like that. You might be paying the same exact price, and it's just like, the prices are so high, and it's just like people can't afford them nowadays. Like, you come straight out of high school, and it's another person in your family that's going to school, and the cost of you have to pay for you and them is just, it's ridiculous, and it's quite high, and the people are getting over and getting more money out of people than they should. If the cost was reasonable, maybe people wouldn't worry about, oh man, I don't want to go to school because I don't want to have to be in debt when I get out of school, or 10 years from now, you got to pay $45,000 back to the school because you took out this many loans and all this other stuff. Like, sometimes it's good to take out a loan that it can help you sometimes, but in the end, when you have to pay these loans back, they don't help when you have to pay them back and you don't have the money financially already to even pay them back. And sooner, if you don't pay them back, then you got to pay the consequence behind it, which sucks.